Device positioning error? Son of a bitch.
It is a sunny and beautiful day in Toronto, albeit very cold. So sunny, in fact, that I've actually got my sunglasses on. I am in Chinatown right now. It is Thursday, February the 16th. I totally probably have the date wrong, but again, the sun is out for once, so I'm going to actually have to take some photos today.
Electronic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions.
With any start to a shooting day, I always need to do some practice exercises just to warm up. Now oftentimes I'll lift up my camera just to get a sense of my composition, but I won't necessarily take the shot. A lot of times I'll see some shadows or lines that might catch my eye, but they don't really end up being anything good. So I'll stick around for a bit just to see if anything kind of pans out, but I'll quickly move on if there's really only one element keeping me there.
On this particular day, I'm opting to use a kit lens, which is far different from what I usually do because I prefer primes. I'm going to interrupt myself just for 1 second. I know you guys might be thinking, kit lens? Why? Let me explain. For as long as I've been shooting, people have always said that kit lenses are terrible, and for the most part, well, they're not wrong. But I want to be able to show you guys that it's not so much about the gear, it's how you use it. Yes, it's a cliche saying, I know. But there's people out there who are not shooting anything because they think their gear's not good enough. Now to that I say, if it takes pictures, shoot with it. And if you can't afford anything more, don't feel bad about it, just make the most with what you have. You'll actually be surprised that the more you shoot with one piece of equipment, the better your images will be. That's just because you'll start to understand its limitations and you'll know how to work around them. One good reason to acquire new gear is because it's not doing what you want it to do. If it's not doing the job that you want, then get something that does. Don't get new gear because you think that it's going to make you a better photographer, because in fact, it might actually make you worse. But that's talk for another time. Hopefully I don't prove myself wrong, because that'll be embarrassing. For now, let's just go back and see what I end up doing with this. In a day like this, where I'm going to be shooting mostly at f8 and 1/500th of a second, having a super fast lens such as like a 1.2 or a 1.4 isn't really going to matter during the daytime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch from 16mm to 23mm, which is about the equivalency of a 35mm, because I don't actually own that lens. And I'm going to keep it right here for the rest of the day, and I'm going to see what I can find using that focal length.
Each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously,
Whenever I see shadow patterns on the pavement, I'll stick around to see what kind of effect it has when people walk through it. Sometimes it can be really interesting depending on where the person is placed, but it's really kind of hit or miss, and it takes a lot of trial and error just to get it right. You know, considering if it even works in the first place. Now, sometimes in the process, you'll get gestures or unexpected results, which is, I guess, part of the fun.
So pro tip is to simply make sure that your batteries are charged before you go out shooting. Otherwise you end up having to strap a battery pack to your camera, and that's not going to be fun. It's not going to make you very mobile.
Okay, so we're back to the reflection theme again, and here I see a brightly colored mannequin with some faces in the background that could be kind of surreal when overlaid with people walking by. Now if I play with the angles, I might be able to get something, but I'm not too sure this is going to give me what I want. I'm just going to play around for a few minutes and shift my position, see if I can get something, but I'm not too confident with this composition. I'm going to take one snap anyways because I'm here and, who knows? This might be the only good shot I'll be happy with today. Alright, that's it. Kind of come across these really creepy things where someone's kind of spray painted the eyes on this little kid and did like the same for this dad. Now normally I would be able to look at this and be like, oh, that's like a perfect thing to juxtapose someone in front of. Now the perfect situation that would be able to make this like really cool if someone actually had like really dark sunglasses, or if someone was like doing the exact same positioning as this little girl here, but to kind of have that happen right in front of here, right at the right time. You'd be so lucky if that were to be the case. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be like a bunch of people with sunglasses doing that exact same expression. Obviously, it's a totally different day from before. I'm wearing different clothes. It's so much nicer than the first time I actually shot downtown. It's absolutely beautiful. Hopefully this time around, I'll be able to get what I need. So let's spin towards Chinatown now. Now, obviously, I'm going to stake out this corner for a while, because how can you not? I mean, there's silhouettes and shadows and so much foot traffic that I might as well just shoot 4K video and pause the stills to get something web-worthy. I mean, I could stay here basically all day, but I really should move on. So the light's pretty much gone on this side of the street, so I'm going to try my luck on the other side, just kind of showing a little bit more promise over there. All right, here we go. So I've come across this really cool shaft of light here, but there's absolutely like no foot traffic, so I doubt anyone's going to be walking through this alleyway anytime soon. If they did, that'd be amazing, but I'm not going to hold my breath for this one. So this is an area that I've shot many times before, and one of the reasons it's so attractive is because these signs just frame my subjects so nicely. For those of you that have been following my work for a while, you know that I'm no stranger to incorporating the shadow selfie in my frames, as you can see here. Yep, that's me. Now, to be honest, it's not so much as an intentional element, but rather something that can't be helped given where I need to stand to get my shot. Now, the benefit, I guess, of wearing my hat is that it creates a more interesting shadow whenever I make a cameo appearance, but that's not why I do it. No, really. So right now, I'm just trying to work the scene, see if anything else is gonna happen. Now this guy was pretty animated, so maybe there could have been a good gesture or something to make the shots more interesting. But people are very unpredictable creatures, and you can only hope for the best. And if there's nothing else happening, well, you can just move on and simply call it a day.
Alright guys, thanks a lot again for tuning in. I hope you guys are finding these photo walks super helpful and enjoyable. Moving forward, because these episodes are taking me a little bit of time to put together, give me a break. I only opened like iMovie back in October, and this transition to Final Cut Pro is kind of taking longer than I expected. Anyways, I'm going to plan on doing smaller filler episodes, which I'm going to call In Between the Seconds, which you can find, somewhere down here. You guys are smart. You'll know exactly where to find this. Now, I'd like to do a little bit more of those critique sessions like I was doing on my Phraction Street account. Now, if you missed those, it's because I've been really busy kind of spreading myself thin with everything. But if you go to my blog at ryantakaiPhoto.com/blog, links in the description, you can see all the previous critiques where I put up an image that didn't quite make the feed, and then I asked you guys to chime in and let me know why you guys think that was. It's a fun little exercise that I hope to transition into video, and I'm kind of super excited to see how that's going to turn out. I'm also planning to do a lot more in-depth post-processing techniques with Lightroom and Photoshop. I know that there's tons of these things out there already, but I want to be able to bring you guys something different, and something that's not easily found in the YouTube world. If there's any special announcements or updates, just follow me on my Phraction or Phraction Street Instagram accounts. I'll usually put something up on my stories there. If there's anything new or exciting happening, or if I just want to share what I had for lunch that day, or share pictures of my dog. Actually, no, he's got his own Instagram page, so he can post all his selfies on his account instead. Remember to like, leave comments, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you find these videos helpful and you know someone that would enjoy these episodes, remember, sharing is caring. Alright, that's it. Shoot first, post later, and all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.
You see, stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together.